Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are going to be once again taking a look at how to install and manage your add-ons and mods. This is a question that's actually been coming up quite a bit again recently, and so I figured let's go ahead and talk about some of the different ways that I do this. So stick around guys, because hopefully you'll find some neat tips and tricks. If you are interested in learning how to fly the A320, consider checking out my Overkill's A320 guide. This guide is available on either my Patreon site or via PayPal donation. PayPal donation, $10 or more. Just be sure to specify which guide you're looking for, as I have more than one. Patreon site, tier 2 or above, again, $10 a month, but that gives you access to all the guides that I currently have available, and then all that are coming in the future. My A320 guide walks you through how to install the A32NX mod by Flybywire. For those who don't know, the A32NX mod takes the default A320 Microsoft Flight Simulator and brings its functionality and features up to what I would consider study level simulation, and it's all completely free. So be sure to check that out. This guide walks you through everything from creating your flight plan into SimBrief, reading your flight plan in SimBrief, entering your flight plan in Microsoft Flight Simulator if that's how you choose to do so in the main menu or in the main map, full cockpit tours, walking through every button, switch, etc., letting you guys know where all the different panels and what the different options are, different displays on the screen and icons and things that you may experience while in flight and what they mean and how to read them and interpolate the information being displayed, the preliminary checklist before starting up the aircraft, taxi, takeoff, navigation, your altitude management, features of the MCDU that are related specifically to the A320 but are available because of Flybywire and their efforts, how to break down a flight route, understanding what you're looking at so you can take this information, use it in future flights, rather than just copying and pasting information that you're seeing on a screen or on a document, how to acquire some more information that's provided in the A320, specifically the A32NX. The different gauges, again, understanding what you're looking at versus just, powering up and going, getting some of that background information to solidify your flight, looking at approach plates, departure plates, SIDS, stars, all those things that we have to consider when doing an IFR flight, managing your descent, when to start your descent, as well as the approach and giving you goals of where you want to be at specific points, and even the missed approach. For shutdown, we go through the startup or the cold and dark and the turnaround status. So again, if you guys are interested in a guide like this and interested in learning how to fly the A320, consider donating or subscribing to Patreon to acquire your guide. Okay, so first off, there are a couple different locations at which you could grab mods, tools, and add-ons, but I recommend Flightsim.to. I very seldom will branch away from this website. They are doing a fantastic job of organizing everything. They keep everything up to date. It's laid out in a very easy way to understand and relate to. So the biggest thing that I can tell you first off is make sure you sign up for an account. Okay, there is a login registration button when you're not signed up. It's free, there's no charge to do so, and it's got some extremely helpful benefits when doing so. Always make sure that you're logged in when doing your downloads. Once you do your downloads, you can click on your profile up here and go to, there's a mod manager that you can use. Okay, and it's got a wish list, followed files, and then it gives you all of your downloads. Now, what I look at more importantly when I'm coming up here is not so much of the my downloads section, but what I do is I come down to this one here, and this is what I pay attention to. For example, TBM 930 November 525 at Whiskey Gulf. This is a livery, okay, and you can see that the last one that I downloaded was version 1.0, and now there's a version 1.1. And what I really like about the way they've done this is if you just simply click on the download button, you'll actually get, a new tab. And I like the fact that you get a new tab. That's actually really a big deal because then you can bounce back and forth. So check this out. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to download it. We're just going to hit download. Always go for the main file. That's what I do. Okay, and while this is going, I'm going to come back here to my next site or my next livery or mod or add-on that I feel I need to update. The phraseology mod, now I haven't verified whether or not this is actually working, but we're going to go ahead and try it again. It was only 4 days ago. So again, this is a really cool one. Let you guys read through it. Basically, it changes some of the verbiage and phraseology being used by ATC to more closely represent real-world traffic. This is a add-on that was developed by a real-world pilot, so it helps to have that that background. All right, and then so this one has downloaded. You can see it down here. We're just going to close here. All right, so that's the first thing that I do. All right, we're not going to go through every single thing here, but it has everything that I've downloaded. Okay. That is not up to date, so you can sort it, right? So we can change sorting: last downloaded, recent updates, alphabetical, most downloads. Okay, the red light indicates that they are up to an update is needed. Okay, and you can see that right here. But for example, if we want to just do alphabetical, all right, here's all the downloads that I've done recently. Now, I recently cleared everything. I did the remove everything. So this is, if you click the remove everything, it wipes out your list. I did this because a lot of the mods and add-ons and things were just so old and had been neglected. This is actually another one we'll check out. This is enhanced live traffic. This is kind of a cool one. We'll see. We're going to test this out and see if it causes any crashes. The last time I tried to use this, it was Crash America. But we'll go ahead and test that out, and maybe we'll do a video on it. So anyway, that's step one. Okay, create an account, Flightsim.to's website. Make sure you're always logged in, and that way you can track all of your downloads and add-ons, and simply come in here and see what's up to date. It's a very, very easy way to do so. Now, let's say I'm just coming here and I'm shopping for new ones. The one thing I don't like about the site, for example, you notice you have these view more button. You've got new uploads up here. Trending, okay, so basically the most popular downloads at the moment. And then recently updated. Okay, so the one thing that I don't like is if you use this window here and you just click on one. And more importantly, actually, let me back up. Let me show you one more thing. Give you a better example here. Let's say page 4. Let's say you're on page 4 and you liked this Korean Air Boeing 747. Right? You come through, you hit your download button, and you go back. It takes you back to page 1. So that I don't like. So what I do recommend is always, whichever section that you want, and actually it's broken down really easily, hit the view more button. And now you have the same thing, recent uploads and last update. The only thing you lose is the currently trending, right? It's the most popular. But the nice thing here is that, for example, if we go to page 4 again, and let's say you wanted this Piper Warrior livery, okay, you download it. When you hit back, you don't lose your place, okay? We're still down here on page 4. So I do recommend that. Little tip there for managing your add-ons, or finding your add-ons, I should say, more easily. They are pretty much my source of where I get all these videos from, guys. They have everything laid out very, very nicely. It's a very easy website to follow. The way they do their most recently updated is very handy. Because if you're checking this, just typically I'll check it like first thing in the morning, you know, while I'm having my caffeine or whatever. You know, just sort of open up and peruse through it and see if there's anything that strikes the interest. And then I'll be paying attention for anything, you know, later in the evening. And I do that with both the new uploads and the recently updated. You know, new uploads, I'll do the same thing. Just sort of walk through it, see if there's anything that, you know, grabs my attention immediately that goes, yeah, I want to fly that today. And then, you know, you move on. So now let's talk about what happens after you've downloaded everything. And before we get there, there is one other thing I highly recommend. And now I've used a bunch of them, guys, and this is still by far, bar none, my favorite. And that is, give me a second, let me find her. Where'd you go? Like most of the stuff I don't even use anymore. Where are you? Oh my gosh, the first one, jeez. Okay, so Addons Linker. There will be a link in, I think in all of my videos, there's a link to this in the description. Highly recommend it, okay? And there's one other one that I'm going to have you guys grab. And it's just because of the way that it's developing. It's coming a long way. I don't know why I did that. That is not what I wanted. And that is the community downloader. Let's see if I've got an update. I don't think I do. I think I have the most recent. Yep, I do. Okay, and that's the other cool thing. I mean, it always tells you right here, latest version already downloaded. Okay, so download this one and download the Addons Linker, and I'm going to show you why here in just a minute. So the next thing I want to give you guys a heads up on, this is sort of tips. Before you start going mod and add-on crazy, take the time and organize things, like right off the bat, before you start downloading. Okay, and here's what I mean. So I've created a folder just called mods. It's on my applications hard drive. Create a folder called applications, and then MSFS mods. And then in there, I've created these structures so far. We have aircraft. So these are going to be either aircraft that are added into the sim or aircraft modifications, such as the TBM 930 improvement mod. Okay. Aircraft liveries, self-explanatory, right? But even in the aircraft liveries, I break it down by aircraft. Okay. Avionics, this is going to be, here's our GNS 530 mod, working titles G1000, this is the legacy, this is the 3000, and then the touchscreen. Then you have scenery, and again, breaking down your scenery, United States so far, and again, I wiped out all of my mods a couple weeks ago, so we've started from scratch here. So Colorado, North Carolina, you break it in, and then from there, I don't typically go much further than that. Like if we go to North Carolina, I just put in the ICAO, and off we go. But be very, very organized, and I know everyone's real quick to just throw it in there, drop it in the community folder and get off and going. But the more organized you are with these, the easier it's going to be to maintain them, and the far easier it is to diagnose when there's an issue with one of them. Okay, because you can have mods and add-ons that actually collide with each other and cause problems, as we saw earlier in the week with the TBM 930 and the Cessna 208B mod. The Cessna 208B was actually impacting the parking brake alarm in the TBM 930 where it couldn't be silenced. So again, keep your stuff very organized and up to date. And then tools, these are going to be our ambitious pilots toolbar pushback, the no handlebar mod, maybe your Shift Z stats, anything that's a tool that is being used as a benefit to the simulator, but not necessarily specific to any one aircraft, right? Anyway, so these are the things that I have thus far. So now let's take a look at our applications here. So I also created a folder, MSFS 2020 applications. All right, now this is going to be things like this here. This is a top of descent calculator we're going to be testing out at some point. Luke's Air Tool, Community Downloader, the Fly Inside Heli Manager for the Bell helicopter, FSATC Chatter, FSUIPC7. This is another really big app that's used in a lot of other applications as a joining point, as an integration point. The Liveries Megapack Manager by the Megapack Group. You guys get the gist here. Mobile Companion, and here's our Addons Linker. And there's Neofly, etc. So create another folder just for your applications, because I don't use all of these. I use a few of them, I really do. But keep everything very organized when it comes to flight simulation, because there's going to be so much that, especially, over the years as it continues to grow. Microsoft Flight Sim has only been out a year, and I have a ton of apps and stuff. And then this isn't even all of them. Many of them are uninstalled or I'm not using them anymore. So just keep that in mind. Have a directory for your mods, have a directory for your applications, and then finally, I recommend having a quick link to your community and official folder, obviously, because these are things that are going to be used quite often. Okay, now, so let's get into our applications for a second, because I want to show you guys something here. Let's talk about the community downloader and how I've got mine configured. Okay, so jumping into the community downloader here, it's just an executable, so you can put it wherever you want. And this is a really awesome tool, and I just haven't had the time to dive in and figure out how to customize it the way I want yet, as far as adding new packages. But it's right out of the box. This is an awesome add-on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Didn't want to do that in you guys' ears. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the Cessna 208. So let's go ahead and check this out. So just the other day, like I was telling you guys, it was causing a problem with the TBM 930. Now we can see it's been updated. So we're going to go ahead and just hit install. And actually, there was something I wanted to show you guys before I did that, but that's all right. So I'll show you guys right now. So it's really, well, here, I'll just show you anyway. So and then the working title, CJ4, okay, you can see it's got a down arrow here indicating that there's an update. Again, you just click on it, boom, off you go. Another real popular one that gets updated quite frequently is the Cessna here. And then here's the GNS 530, another update. And boom. So really awesome tool for managing your add-ons. And again, you have quite a few. We have the G36, the Salty 747. Unfortunately, our Heavy Division 787 doesn't look like it's been updated recently. And that unfortunately was pre-Sim Update 5. So I'm leaving it out until we see an update. Same thing with the Cessna 182. They had done a flight model update after Coronado released theirs. And unfortunately, it hasn't been touched since. So we're sort of leaving it there. But let me show you something that's really cool. So what I like to do is that was dumb. I've had a lot of caffeine, guys. I haven't slept much this week, so forgive me. A little tweaky today. Anyway, so if you click on this link here, that's all I want to do is make sure you guys understood where I clicked. You can now set the directory on where every single one of these installs. And then you can decide whether or not you even want it on the list. So like the Cessna 182, okay? It doesn't look like it has any... Let's say I wanted it just removed from the list, okay? Because it doesn't look like it's going to be updating anytime soon. We can click that, boom. As long as that red circle's on, the Cessna 182 won't show up on our list. But what you can do here is you can choose, you can either hide the folder. Oh, perfect. So let's say the Cessna 208B mod. So what that did is that wiped it out. So let's go select. And we're going to pick where I want this installed. So we do want it in the mods directory, but we want it in the aircraft. And there it is right there. So we're going to click that guy. And all I would do here, let's delete this one here because it's going to create its own. So all I'm going to do is hit select folder. Okay. And let me back that out. We don't want that in there. So let's come back one more time. Oh, that's weird. Reset. So we can go mods, aircraft. That's all I wanted right there. And it is not doing it. All right, fine. I'm going to wipe you out then. There. Now hit OK. There we go. That's what I wanted. Thank you. And then when it drops in, let's go ahead and close this window and let's install it. And if we go to our mods directory and go to aircraft, there it is. So a really neat tool. Now, here's what I want you guys to catch on to what I just did here. This is not the community folder. Okay, I changed the directory to this directory because this is a very, very easy way to manage all of these add-ons. Okay, it just tells you, boom, the improvement mod for the TBM 930. You don't have to manage it anymore. CJ4, as you guys saw when we first launched in, we don't have to go looking to see if there's an update and then do all kinds of manual crap. So it's a very, very awesome tool. But I still have it installed here, and here's why. Now we're going to get into the Addons Linker. So coming back over to our applications folder, we're now going to find our Addons Linker. And don't worry about all this craziness. You just want the executable here. And there is a PDF document in here. I haven't gone through it yet, but I just I'm your typical guy in that aspect. I run things and figure it out as I go because I'm a glutton for punishment. And then now let's take a look at what we've got to do. Now, the first time you run this, it's going to ask you quite a few configuration questions, okay? It's going to have you determine where your mods directory is. So right now, if we look at the comparison here, and again, when you first launch it, you'll be asked to find this directory, okay? And you can see, here's my mods directory, and notice the correlation here. But here's what's awesome about this, and the reason why I kept this application pointed at this folder is because now from one source, for example, the 208, we had many issues with it last week. So now I can simply click it and bring it in. But let's say I jump in right now and I notice, nope, there's still a problem. I don't have to come here, open this one up, remember which app did what. You know, I can just come here, remove it, restart my simulator. Okay. So it's an extremely handy tool. And then take a look at your liveries. Okay, same thing. And the biggest one that's helpful is Scenery. Scenery right now is one of those things that I'm really skeptical to install because we've seen so many crash to desktops in regard to it. And I do not think, based on all the ones that I've seen that have been updated, that are no longer having a problem, I think it's more of a driver issue. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Scenery themselves. I just think it's a coincidence that, hey, when I load X Scenery, boom, you know, it's doing something that's causing a break. So right now I don't have any Sceneries installed, but again, that's just out of precaution. I will say, give you guys this tip, when loading in Sceneries right now, do one at a time and test it. Load, and that sounds horrible and painful, especially if you're doing multiple flights in multiple areas and multiple sceneries. That sounds absolutely horrendous. I mean, I don't have that many sceneries, but I know some of you like go scenery crazy, and that's wonderful. And I know that what I just said just makes you, probably want to, throw somebody off of a Ferris wheel or Ferris wheel. But anyway, just do it one at a time. Load a scenery in, and how you do it is real simple. So let's do North Carolina because it has multiple in that directory. So if we want to go North Carolina, here's KJNX. If we just load that folder, boom. Okay, that scenery is now loaded, and we can even go to the community folder. And what these are, these folders with the little arrows next to them, these are the links that this is creating. Okay, and it's creating a folder link. And essentially what that does when Microsoft goes to look at it, or the flight simulator looks at it, it sees this link and says, okay, well, where's this link pointing to? And then it takes it to this directory here and finds what the actual add-on is and loads it. All right, it saves on space is what it does. It keeps your computer from duplicating a file and just doubling up the space, right? So it's a really handy tool. I'm sure you guys can already see the benefits of it. You guys can, let's expand this a little bit. You can see where the link target is. So link target is going to be where does the mod actually exist. You can see the version number, but I don't know that everybody puts a version number in. Let's scroll over. You can see the category that we have it typed in. Okay, so that's going to be our folder. Oh, no, it's not. This is actually what they are titled as. So that's kind of cool. And then if you wanted to add an external link, thought we could do that. I may be doing that wrong. Again, I haven't done this in a long time. I don't normally worry about the web links because I save everything in my Google Chrome, like you guys saw. I have my own folders, but and how you guys choose to do that is your own. Just remember there is a help document within inside of the Addons Linker folder. Make sure you guys read that if you guys want a full breakdown. I'll admit I'm apparently something's changed since the last time I tried to put a link in. You used to be able to just click in the box, I think, and type in a web link, but it's neither here nor there for me. It doesn't really bother me, so I never really dove into it very much. But the basic operation of the tool, as you guys can see, is very simple and very, very handy. You can substructure as many folders as you want. Okay, so we could have 747 and then just keep on going. You could have 10 folder structures if you needed to. I don't know why you would, but and then you can filter out your installations based on that. So for example, if you wanted to go, I guess the best example would be your scenery. I went country, state, location, but let's say you wanted to go country, state, city, or county, or however you want to do that and break it down even further, you could. I don't have that much patience for managing my scenery. But now let's talk about bringing brand new mods and add-ons in. Okay. All right. So now that we know how to manage them, let's talk about how to bring new ones in. So let's take a look at all those ones that we just did. So first thing, I highly recommend you guys get an app called 7-Zip. If you just Google 7-Zip download, you'll find it right away. It's free. It's a really awesome piece of software. It does a lot. So I'm going to take all of these guys. You can see they have the little zipper on them. That means in case that they're zipped up. And with 7-Zip, I can extract. I can hit 7-Zip, and I'm going to extract to. And what this is means extract every one of these into their own folder name. And you'll see what it does here in just a minute. And you see it's creating a folder identical to the name of the zip. Oh, apparently I already had one that was there. We can just hit yes to all. That's fine. We'll let this finish for just a second. Okay, so now that that's done, we can go ahead and everything that's highlighted, I'm going to delete. It's just the old zip files. And now we need to organize this. And I think this is where people get into a lot of confusion, is understanding how the folders need to be structured before they make it to the community folder. And this is something that Addons Linker, I think, helps with greatly because of the way it functions and the way it's able to dive down into the different folder levels. But let's take a look at something real quick. So you can see that, let's take a look at this TBM livery here. This is, again, 525 Whiskey Golf, but it's got this weird sort of end name, and all of these do. And that has to do with the title name that is stored in the Flightsim.to's database, all right? But if we open it up again, notice this one here. This is the actual mod. This is the folder that needs to be copied into the community directory. Because if we step down one more time, this is the contents of the mod. So I want you guys to think about this for a second. If we come back here for a minute, I want you to think about this format right here, like you're seeing with all of these, Flightsim.to, okay? Flightsim.to's title. Then when we step down again, we have, this is the actual mod title, the creator's title, okay? What is the mod? That's what this folder is. And this is the mod itself. A big giveaway to, I would say, 99.99% of all mods, add-ons, etc. for the simulator are going to be these contents: sim objects, layout, and manifest. Okay, once you see that, you know that you want the folder right before it. So we want this folder here. Okay? So now let's start organizing some things. So let's pull up another folder here. I'll walk you guys through this pretty quick. And, oh, no, I want to go to mods. And aircraft liveries. In this case, we're going for the TBM. So, again, this is the mod. So, this is what I want. I'm bringing that over. Okay, now let's just sort of go back again. Oh, I sort of went all over the place, didn't I? And then once I get here, I've already copied it over. Oops, I'm deleting it. And then let's do the same thing with this one. What is this? Uncle Bob's. Oh, this is a scenery. PBK. And I'm going to have to go back and look it up because I don't remember where that was. Darn it. All right, so we'll come back to that. PZ21 is what it is. The ICAO is there. But it was a cute little scenery I saw that I wanted to check out. Yes, I said cute. ICAO phraseology mods. Let's see what this one wants. This one's actually got an installer. So that's actually an application. So I'm going to take this guy here. I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it in my applications folder. Okay. That way I know, because it's got an executable, it's got an installer, it's got something that I need to run. It's not a mod that's easily added or removed. So let's keep on going. Area 51 area is what it is. I don't know if that's actually Area 51, but so this is Nevada. It's the scenery. So again, let's just knock through this real quick. Scenery, United States. I don't think I have anything for Nevada. Nope. New folder. Nevada. You just hit enter and drag it in. Because again, once it's done there, we'll open it. There's the mod. Remember I was telling you, big giveaways, those two files right there. Okay, so even with scenery, liveries, aircraft modifications, you're almost always going to see those. So again, let's just walk through these real quick. Oops. Cessna Longitude fix. Version 1.85. So let's go back to my Longitude. Oh, I had already put that one in there. Okay, so this one, by the way, for the Longitude mod, for anyone who's looked at it, on air is kind of like NeoFly or one of those programs, but you have to have a very specific configuration. So this is an on-air use for it. I don't use on-air, but so we just grabbed this guy, okay, and I copied it over here, and you can see again, there's that layout and manifest. All right, so that one's done. ELT Gatwick. Here's another. This is actually a really cool scenery. It's huge. Let's go back to scenery. Oh, I don't have it. So let's put in United Kingdom. I watched a funny TikTok the other day that somebody was talking about how you can drive for 12 hours in Texas and still be in Texas. And this guy was like, he was from the UK and he was losing his mind. He was like, I can't even fathom that. He's like, you can drive from 12 hours from one end of United Kingdom to the other and then back down again. He's like, in 12 hours, you've driven through 3 different countries. And for us, you're still in Texas. Anyway, I don't know why, I just found that funny. Thought that was silly. This is a really awesome scenery. If you guys haven't checked out Gatwick Ultra, it's fantastic. Beautiful. Probably the best scenery that I've seen yet. And it's free. Let's see here. Where were we? All right, so here we got more TBM 930 liveries. So let's just walk back over there real quick. And I'm just making sure you guys all see this. I know, feel free to skip ahead to the next section. Everything's chaptered out. I just want to make sure you guys are seeing everything that I do step by step. I try not to leave anything out. So again, same thing. Okay, big giveaway. Typically, they're always one folder deep. You'll rarely see more than one folder deep. Okay, so there's that. There's that. There's that one. Boom. Okay, and then we can take all three of these, get them out of there. Bahamas Mega Pack. This is another really cool one. Very nice one. So let's go back into our scenery. I was really glad to see this updated. And let's see here. We want Bahamas. And I'm itemizing Bahamas specifically because this is such a big pack. There's so many fields here. I want to know that if there's an issue, I can very quickly just remove that. Versus like the Caribbean or something like that. You know, anytime you get anytime you get a big mega pack like that, I recommend leaving it in its own section. Okay, it just makes it easier for troubleshooting and diagnosis. Keeping things simple. Did I miss a TBM? Let's come back. Aircraft liveries, TBM. Which one is this one? White and maroon black. I did. All right, let's drag that in there. I love my TBM. Love my TBM. That's something completely different. A lot of these, that one we already had. That was actually a duplicate. We got a couple A320 Neos. So again, remember the 320. Oh, back up. That's why I put A32NX versus A320. They are two separate aircraft, so make sure you're checking that. And then I read on the description, make sure that it mentions the fly-by-wire. Like there it is, A32NX. Okay. Oh, apparently I already had that one. Did I already put those in there? Fly-by-wire, November 362 Victor. Yes, these are already in. Okay. So we'll just... The airport lights, again, this is another one I've had issue with. But if we go to aircraft, scenery, global, this is another huge pack. So I've sort of kept it off by itself. It's got tons of light fixes and things. Let's see, when was that updated? Yeah, same day. Okay, so we can get rid of that. But this is another example of multiple folder structures, right? So we got scenery, then we go global, then there's the airport lights, then there's the mod itself. So this is, again, another big advantage to using our Addons Linker. All right, and so that's how I manage all my add-ons. Now, here's the other cool thing about Addons Linker now that we've done that. Add-ons refresh needed. We've added new add-ons. Addons Linker knows that, and it wants us to refresh the list. So, pop that. And now you can see we've got things that are no longer added. 13 of 18 liveries are in. 8 of 11 aircraft. Actually, the aircraft makes sense. Avionics, scenery. Only 1 out of 30 is loaded right now. Okay, so really big deal. Like, let's go ahead and check out Gatwick. Gatwick crashed on me the last time I tried to load it. So we'll load it into the simulator. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and check out our liveries for the TBM 930. And what you can do is just tap that, okay, where it's got the black square, and it will load all of them. Now you can see 9 out of 9 are loaded or 0 out of 9 are loaded. Okay, makes it real easy. Okay, so from here, we'll close these out. We'll launch the simulator, and I'll catch you guys in just a second. All right, so now that we're in the simulator, first, this is another thing that we're going to be watching for is the marketplace. And we're going to be going to full catalog. Paid seems to have an update. I don't know where it went. Maybe that was just a new item added. I do check for sales every now and then. Now the marketplace is going to drop things directly in. It's managed only by the simulator itself. That's kind of a cool one. Moscow. That's actually a really cool looking airport. Not going to lie. Anyway, ooh, shiny squirrel. Let's back up a place. We don't want to be in the marketplace yet. I do reference the marketplace quite often. What could be new over there? Must be a new scenery. Go to profile. And we're going to go to Content Manager, and this is the other big one that you really got to watch for updates, and that is right here. Okay, so updates available 0, that's good. But make sure definitely after each patch you're checking this, and then periodically just around that I would be watching this. I do need to download that eventually at some point in life. But now let's go ahead and take a look at Gatwick. What is it? EGKK, right? Yep. Okay. And then let's take a look at our aircraft. So let's use the TBM. Let's look for those liveries we just installed. There they are right there. There's a couple of them anyway. There's white, maroon, black. Let's go ahead and check that one out. The whole tuner thing is pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. I really do like it. I fly with them a lot, but I do like to keep it more what you normally see every now and then. All right, that looks like a cargo ramp. Those are jetways. That's why I like the new. This is one of the many things that Microsoft Flight Simulator and Asobo did do absolutely correct. Was being able to zoom in on these sections and figure out where your aircraft should actually be, you know. But I'm having a little bit of a hard time finding a spot. That's another cargo ramp or loading ramp for larger aircraft. These are gates. Where's General Aviation Park? Normally I used to just stick it down, and I know I put her in the wrong spot, but all right, whatever. We're just gonna pick a spot and load it up. So let's just set that one. Let's hit fly. Let's see if we have any problems. And for example, if Gatwick crashes again, I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to solve the problem. Just gonna remove it. But I don't have to dig. All right. So here we are. Very clearly at a gate. Yeah, we're at a jetway. By the way, another question that comes up a lot lately. How do I disable the pilots? This guy right here. Click that and click that. Okay. So that was the wrong parking spot. Cool livery though. It's actually really pretty. But real quick, guys, I do want to show off Gatwick. Look at this. Look at this airport. This airport is fantastic. They did such an amazing job with this. It is so detailed. So detailed. But again, guys, so that is how I manage all my mods, tools, and add-ons. If I had a problem, let's say Gatwick crashed for me right now when I tried to load in, I would simply load up the Addons Linker like we saw, and I would uncheck Gatwick and restart the simulator. Boom. Oops, I just hit the microphone. Sorry, guys. So it's a real simple way to manage it. Remember, check Flightsim.to's website. Make sure you register for an account. That way it tracks your downloads. You can very easily and quickly see which add-ons are up to date or need to be adjusted, etc. It's just really cool stuff that's out there if you set it up right. The biggest tip I give you guys is organization, because it will get very overwhelming and time consuming very quickly as time goes on. Between all the sceneries and the aircraft liveries and aircraft modifications and aircraft installations, even my installation, that's the other thing I was going to show you guys. Even my aircraft from third party, I try to install in this directory. You know, there are certain ones that don't let me, that go straight to the community folder, but any chance I get, I let Addons Linker control whether or not anything is particularly installed into the simulator. So I hope this helps you guys out. I hope it cleared up some questions. And as always, guys, be sure to leave those comments and questions down below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, folks.